Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our August 2017 Town Hall. We are so excited to get this opportunity to share some important news and updates with you. I'm Carmen Evans, the Customer Success Manager. I have with me today our Solutions Manager, Emily Smith.
Hey, everyone.
And also our Visionary and Leader, our COO, Ryan Hodges.
Hello.
In a few moments, we are going to share with you all what we've been working on over the past few months. But first, we do want to remind you, if you have questions, please post those in the chat section. Towards the end of today's town hall meeting, we will go back and try to answer some of those questions. So please feel free, throughout today's town hall to go ahead and post questions, comments. We'd love to hear from you. Without further ado, we are going to go ahead and dive right in. Emily is going to share some really cool stuff about what we've added to our forms. So Emily, can you tell us what they can look forward to that's going to help them out when we're talking about the kiosk forms and things like that?
Sure, absolutely. So in the kiosk and web form option, when you were adding a form before, it would say child first name, child last name, you would add another child. I think we've added the option to do child 1, child 2, child 3, child 4, so now you know which child you're talking about.
Right.
Obviously, you guys know you have the ability to add as many forms as you want, as many kiosk options as you want. I would always like to remind you that it's a best practice to have your inquiry form, your schedule a tour form, your newsletter sign up, do your social media outlets, and of course you could put the same form everywhere, but why would you want to? Wouldn't you want to be able to track which outlet they came from? So have a Facebook form, have a Yelp form, have a Twitter form, and what you can do is tie the marketing campaign right on the back of it so the parent has no idea it even exists, but they're going to give you a little bit of information. It's going to slide right into your system, and you can accept it and process it there. And remember, you can also change up your automation. So instead of saying, thanks for talking about our website, you can say, thanks for talking about our Facebook, thanks for checking out our Yelp page, whatever you'd like. So I think that's a great option. So if you're interested in multi-forms, let us know. But really the most important enhancement this month for the forms is that now you can see child 1, child 2, child 3, child 4. Also on the forms, if you haven't if you haven't changed your forms in a while, you remember the blue arrows that you would move up and down, and moving the field was kind of a nightmare. Those are now dynamic, so you can just drag them, move them around, put them wherever you want. You can get rid of the headers now. So a lot has changed in there. I think with back to school season approaching, it's a really good time to take a look at your CRM forms. And remember, as long as it is a CRM form and it is not an iframe, which is the one that's kind of pasted on your website.
Right.
If it's a pop open form where I would click it and it takes me to a new landing page, it's live. So any change you make happens instantaneously. So keep that in mind when you're making these changes. As soon as you hit save, it's changing on the website.
Right. Anything else? Thank you. We do have some exciting things happening with our special employers. So Emily and Ryan, what can you tell us about that feature?
Yeah, we've been working on that for a while. It used to just be a pick list, right? So you could pick up at the very top level. You could list as many special employers you want, but only at one spot, and it applied for the whole database. But those of you who have regional schools, it's not all that helpful. So what we did is now we allow you to do top corporate level employers and location level employers, and kind of like your age groups, you can tie them back up. So you could say, we want to track Toyota as a whole nationwide, but then we want to track Toyota of Dallas and Toyota of Los Angeles and Toyota of over here. And when you do your reporting or you do your group management, it can all roll up. So Ryan can kind of preview and show you a little bit more on that.
Yeah, we really kind of put special employers and competitors together. So the feature set's very similar, and then we moved them around to work a lot like each other, like Emily said, where they're no longer just a pick list. The competitors weren't a pick list. The competitors were kind of set up like that. We match special employers like competitors. So we have moved the special employers to the settings screen. If you can bump over to me, please. Thank you. You'll see now under organization settings, you will have the special employers at the corporate level, and then at the location level, you will have special employers under the location now, and you will see that you have a roll up. So we can say this one here rolls up for reporting. So that way you can have consistent reporting organization-wide. At the same time, you can drill into a location and see, what that location's special employer and competitors.
It seems like we're doing that more often because now we've done it with the employers, the age groups,
Yes.
the competitors like you mentioned. So it seems like we're just trying to give you a lot of ways for the system to be intuitive, but also customized down to the location level, because that's a lot of the feedback that we got from the stakeholders, is that there were so many ways to customize up at the corporate
Right.
level, but location by location, region by region, it became very difficult, and you kind of locked everybody into what the global organization thought. So we want to open that up a little bit with every new enhancement, and kind of
Right.
give you guys more flexibility down at location level, regional level. So I think this is a good step in the right direction.
This next one is a time saver that I know was talked about. I know I'm very excited. It helps us out here, particularly if you've got a large database with lots of locations. So if Ryan could visit database 2 for us very, very quickly, we've got a much simpler way for you to search for your locations, as well as when you're adding staff. So I'm going to give Ryan just a moment to get into another database for us, and then I'm going to allow him to walk us through this added feature we have for you.
What database do
2.
you
Go to 2. That's
Database
a good
2.
one.
Yes,
Okay.
2, yes.
Okay, and you want me to go to...
So go to locations. And, well, actually, let's do staff settings. Let's show them where you can do it then. So let's add a staff member. We don't have to do the whole thing, but in this option, those of you who have more than, let's say 2, 3, you're adding a staff member every time, and you've got more than 2 or 3 centers. You're scrolling, it's taking forever, and those of you, sometimes you'll add 4 locations at a time. 4 times 4 staff members. It can be time consuming. So now this quick search option is just going to let you start typing the name of the center, pull it up, and add it. So that's on the staff members. Those of you who do kind of the centralized enrollment, so we have an enrollment specialist who works at the very top, I think this one is going to help you the most over at the home tab. On add a new lead, you have the same option. So when you're taking those phone calls or you're grabbing those emails and you're entering the information real quick, you can just type the word north or the NO or whatever, and it's going to populate, and you can get in there a lot faster than scrolling down and figuring out where they need to land. So that one is very exciting and a big time saver.
And while Ryan's here on the home page, if you could go to the reports tab, we just want to show you some information that we've added to the bottom of the report screen. So Emily, can you kind of walk us through those changes?
Yeah, this is probably the biggest one of this month. So we have gotten, in the last year, we have released my favorite reports, saved filters, scheduled reports. We have just done a lot with the reporting. Now this month we released the ability to queue a report. So those of you who have been on this system for a long time and have a ton of data, when you're trying to run your period statistics report, your conversion success, or something that's just making the system think a lot, you would kind of get locked there. You'd watch the generating button load and load and load, and if you moved anywhere else in the system, you kind of had to give up, right? You could hit cancel, but you gave up. So now you have the option to hit queue and go do your thing. Go finish what you need to finish. The system's just going to start running it in the background, and then if you notice up at the top right, it says logs. When it is done, all of your queued reports will be waiting there. So you know what you can do, my bigger friends? Go in the morning, hit queue on all your favorite reports, and then come back at lunchtime and check on them if you want. I mean, it won't take that long, but you could queue everything in the morning. Now, the other thing we changed is the ability to schedule reports. So as of last week, before the release, you would have to save your filters. So you'd get this screen exactly the way you want. You would hit save filters, you would call it something, then there's a lot of stuff. Yeah, that's exactly what I would call it. And then you would go in there and hit schedule and do all of that. Well, it's very cool, but it's a few more steps than you have time for. So now you can get the screen set exactly as you want, and on the bottom of the screen, there's a button that says schedule. And that same schedule is going to pop up, and you can say, I want to run this report, I want to call it this, I want it on this day, this time. You can run it in intervals, so every 7 days, 15 days, 30 days. And my favorite part is that. So if you don't pick an email, oh, great, I'm going to get emails now. If you don't pick email results, it's just going to run in that log section, just like the queued reports.
Mm-hmm.
But if you decide you want to email it to yourself so that you can, sit on the beach in Aruba and not go to the office, then while you're on the beach in Aruba, can I have a vacation? I could still be getting my conversion success reports, my pending leads. I have the Android app. Mm-hmm. So at this point, I've got an Android app. I can accept the lead. Mm-hmm. I can send it an email. I can look at my conversion success report. I don't really see why anybody is going to their centers anymore.
And sip your pina colada.
Yes.
Very nice.
Yes.
Thank you,
non-alcoholic pina coladas. Anyhow, I'm most excited about those 3 buttons down there.
So we've also made some system improvements that we kind of want to transition to. So Ryan, if you would take us back to database 564, one of those improvements was on the home screen when you were adding a task, it looked like there was an issue we were hitting if there were quotation marks in the comments. So we actually have a task built in that you can click into if you want to take a look at that.
Call mom. She says she's mom, but we're not sure.
So if you need to place emphasis on who you're calling and you're making that note and you're putting quotations and things like that, dun, da, 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 you're fine. You're not going to cause any uh-ohs in the system. Have at it.
I want to see your best examples of the quotation marks that were giving you problems. I want to know what you guys were saying with your air quotes. Right.
And awesome. For our folks that use Safari, what news do we have for them, Emily?
Reports are working if you're using a Safari, what do they call that? Browser. So those of you who are using Safari were having issues for a hot minute. You couldn't run any reports, so you couldn't make real great business decisions. But Safari reports are up and running. I tested it on the biggest, baddest reports, and it worked just fine.
And while we're talking about tasks, Ryan, if you want to click into that task, we've also made an improvement to the completed task screen. That's okay. No problem.
I just clicked the wrong thing. Here we go.
Oh, no problem.
I learned to use system right. There we go.
So, Emily, what's the surprise here?
Okay. So, last time we talked, my favorite feature, because I always have one, but my favorite feature was the ability to hit save and close. Because when we initially introduced the ability to complete tasks from the home screen, I thought it was awesome. And it was going to be a great time saver, except it would direct you right back to the lead.
Right.
And I thought, when you're somebody who's completing tasks from that list, I think I know you guys well enough to know you just wanted to stay there. You just wanted to rapid fire down the tasks, not go to the lead. So save and close was still taking you back, right, to the
home screen.
Okay, so save and close will take you to home screen. Save and go to lead will take you there, but when you complete it inside of the lead screen is where we made the update, I think, right?
Right. So the original thing is when we added the 2 buttons here for the home screen, it kind of was the same screen on the lead screen.
Right.
So when you would hit save and go to lead, it would save and close. When you hit save and close, it would take you back to the home screen.
Right.
So now that works correctly on the home screen, and then when you go into the lead and
one of
complete
them's
the task,
just gone, right? Save and go to lead is gone.
it's just save and close.
Right.
So the save and go to home screen's gone. So this is the way it was before. And when we added the feature on the home screen, it caused confusion on this screen, so we just fixed it.
Cool.
We got rid of the confusion.
I'm all about that.
And actually, while you're here, you may notice that we have some duplicate children. Well, we've made an update here as well. Emily, talk us through what that update has been, because we did have some uh-ohs that were happening in the past that we have made some improvements to.
Yeah, that's right. So you could so if somebody had an apostrophe in their name, I think, right?
Well, the address.
Oh, the address, sorry.
The
So
address.
if somebody had an apostrophe in the address, which would have been on the lead, the parent, you could reject the child. I hate saying that. You could reject the opportunity, but you couldn't delete it. It would just kind of stick itself and reject it, and you couldn't move it any further. So that bug has been corrected. So now if you've got a ton of those waiting there to be deleted, go ahead and do your mass delete, get rid of them.
Anything you want me to show on that one? Or
Sure, you can if you like. So we're going to reject our ABC child, and then the system's going to update that.
This is a good opportunity to review why you should reject. You do not reject because they will not call you back. You do not reject because you have a bad email address for them.
Right.
You reject if it is a duplicate, if it is test and pretend data that you
Right.
were just messing around with,
Mhm.
or if it's like a vendor that got in there on accident. It's somebody that you never would. You never. It's on the screen.
It's not on that screen. It's on that one, but not that one.
Sorry, I got distracted, everybody. You never want to reject somebody that you could work on or could have been an
Right.
opportunity. Reject somebody that never should have been in the system in the first place. So,
Correct.
because we can't pull rejected back, and that
Right.
happens. You guys will call us and say, my assistant director accidentally rejected somebody that we just meant to make a lost op, and I'll say, you've got to enter all of that
Right.
stuff again.
They're stuck.
Oops.
So now that we've rejected that duplicate child, we can go ahead and delete them, even though there's an apostrophe in that address. So yay for that.
Okay.
Would you touch on exports for us, Emily, and the update that we've made to that functionality?
Absolutely. Okay, so those of you who are using your management system integration, which means we will take everything you've entered on that lead and push it over into your management system once they become waitlisted or registered. They will sit in this export tab. A lot of you missed the last step. They'll just sit there.
Right.
So you have to hit export
Mhm.
or say yes, you're ready to export, let it process, accept it over in your management system, come back to this tab and hit finish. That's what you're forgetting, and we'll just build up. So if you've done all of that, what should happen is when their start date comes, they will automatically move to the enrolled status.
Correct.
You won't have to manually do it anymore. So that is what should happen. That has been corrected. It always worked fine. So if you're waiting to finish any of those out, go get that done. It was only broken for a hot second.
Yeah. Yay. Now we're actually going to transition to our fearless leader, Ryan. A few months ago, we talked with our stakeholders about some of the coming features they could look forward to seeing in the system. So can you touch on some of the progress that we've made and what's coming in the short term?
Yes, let me get to the right one. All right,
Okay.
if Meredith would put the thing on the screen. Okay, for those of you that were in the client stakeholder meeting, you probably saw this slide that was called Flatten the System. There's kind of two sides to this that come. So what we wanted to do is we want to make it simpler for single-site organizations to use the system. There's no reason to have to go from a corporate location to a single site when you're a single site. There's just no reason for that.
Right.
At the same time, we expanded the permission set, which will benefit the multi-site, so then you can be more granular on your permissions. If you want to flip over, you can. So the idea behind all of this was to make it simpler for the single sites and add a little bit more granularity for the multi-sites. Well, some of that functionality has already been pushed out, so a lot of our single sites, new sites rolling
Right.
on, will have this new feature set, and then we're going to be reaching back out to some of our single site clients.
Okay.
And if they would like to flatten their system so they can remove the complexity, then we will go through that setup process with them.
Okay.
At the same time, the multi-sites have already benefited because the permissions have already been expanded. So then if they want to remove some functionality from select people, they can do that. And actually, we've got even more to go. I think, is this a segue I can keep going?
Yes.
Can I keep going? All right. So I am going to hop over to this slide right here. Go ahead. Okay, so this one's drip campaigns. So our development staff just finished the first round on this one. This is a feature that's coming out. It's going to be very powerful. I think it's coming out better than we thought it was going to be.
Yay.
Original design.
exciting.
Emily, did you see that last week?
I didn't, but I heard a lot of buzz about it.
Yes.
I'm very excited.
So just to kind of highlight on that one, we're going to be releasing this one very soon. It's probably in another release or two before it comes out, but we are making headway on that one. And if I can get to this one right here. Okay, so this is the next one, intuitive emails. This one was meant to allow a user to interact with the system while they were away, like they're not at their computer. The system
Right.
can send out a reminder or an email of some sort that has some information in it, and we wanted the user to be able to interact with the system without having to go back to the computer and log in. So for a perfect example is task.
Right.
Task comes out, it says you can update it, you can complete it, you can cancel it.
Mm-hmm.
So if a parent comes in on a tour, you get your reminder, 5 minutes for the tour, 10 minutes for the tour, whatever your reminder is. And then if you have your mobile device while you're walking around the center, as soon as the parent leaves, you can click right there, which then will fire off the thank you, business rules, and follow-up actions, etc. So this one is actually in one of the next releases coming out in the next few weeks. And
that one I have seen, and that one I was really excited about.
Yeah, this one also goes to, it was also the first step in, oh good Lord, a number of things, accepting a lead from the email, allowing a parent to interact with the
their
wait
emails,
list,
yeah.
allowing the parent to interact as well. So the idea is to get some of that interaction, kind of quick interaction inside of the notification without having to go back to the desk and log in.
Yeah, I love it. And I think it's more the way everything is going. I mean, how many times do you get a notification that says, Carmen Evans just posted a photo of you, click here
Right.
to see it, and it'll just do what you need it to do. And that's the way I think we're all interacting. And I really wanted us to get to that point where if you're somebody who's sitting in front of your desk and that's the way you like to use your system, go for it. If you're somebody who wants to use an app, use it. If you're somebody
Right.
who likes email, do it. I just want you to use your system and update it. And I think we're just getting
Use.
garbage in, garbage out.
Yeah.
Questions. Please feel free to post them. We're going to wait just for a few minutes to see if any questions have come in. Any comments, please feel free to start posting them. We are standing by. While we are waiting, we do want to remind you that we have our user group coming up October 4th. We are super excited about that. Emily, what do they need to know?
Be there or be square. That's what you need to know. Registration is wide open right now. It goes through September 22nd. We will be in Chicago, Illinois as a conference kickoff to the Child Care Success Summit hosted by our good friend Chris Murray. So if you would like to register your team, number 1, free of charge.
Free.
Get there.
Free.
Number 2, you can register at I get very excited, childcarecrmusergroup.com. Register as many people as you want. So we're gonna change up the format just a little bit, but we had really good responses on the morning session and the breakout sessions. So we're gonna do it the same kind of way. You're still gonna see breakouts. That's why I say bring as many people as you can, because then you can saturate the breakout sessions, I think, as good as the roundtables. We are having a networking reception that evening, so the questions I keep getting are like, oh, if I get in late, can I still come? Heck yeah. Show up for whatever you want. There's going to be nuggets of wisdom all over the place, so come to the afternoon. Come see us at the networking reception. Just come.
Yes.
It's Wednesday, October 4th. October 4th.
October 4th.
Wednesday, October 4th.
In Chicago,
In
Illinois.
Chicago, Illinois, at the Westin.
Right. And if you're not attending Chris Murray's event, that doesn't mean you can't come.
No.
If you're able to, you can attend. It's free to all of our users. We want as many people that can come to learn from the great things we have to offer. This year is a slightly different approach. Our theme is Shaping the Future, and we've got a jam-packed session and information to give you guys. And actually, I do believe about 6 o'clock today is the email that goes out, and it's going to contain information about in detail. We do have a link to a survey to kind of get some feedback on what you guys would like to see. There's, I guess, a link to the registration, questions about it, some answers, highlights. Yeah. I guess
How can they reach out to you about this particular event if they have questions?
Yeah, so obviously you know where to get a hold of all of us, but your user group event staff can be reached at events@childcarecrm.com, events@childcarecrm.com. And just to give you kind of an overview, what does user group look like? What are the benefits to me? The morning session is a really great opportunity to see where we've been, what we've released this year, where we plan on going. We do a lot of stakeholder input there, which is awesome, so you guys can tell us what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what you'd like to see, so we can roadmap a little bit. The breakout sessions are awesome. They are a mix of how to use your system better and then also just best industry practices for sales and marketing.
Well, you know, our 9 major epics that we're in the process of right now, a lot of those stemmed from conversations from previous years' user groups, most specifically last year's, and the roundtable discussions and whatnot. So, I mean, we plan on expanding that. We want the feedback. We want the input. We want to show you guys where we're headed and make sure it makes sense for you guys as well, because it's your system too. If we actually, I believe, have a video that if Meredith can play, can kind of give you a little bit of a highlight of kind of what it looks like. There we go. Okay, well, technical difficulties, the video's not playing.
You know where you can see it? childcarecrmusergroup.com.
If you look right there,
There you go.
you
Across
can
the bottom of your screen.
You can see the there's the URL, and you can go watch it. It is the video at the top of the screen, and there will be references to it in the emails and communications to come. So, yeah.
Have any questions come in? Any comments?
Let's see what we've got. Okay, let's see. What does that say right there? There you go.
Can I revisit?
The post.
This post. I wasn't able to listen to it all. Can I send
The link to
my
admin team.
Yes, you will be able to. As soon as this live stream is over, it will be on our YouTube page right there on top. It'll say not April. It's not April. It's August.
August.
It'll say
Yes.
August 2017 Town Hall. It just like any other YouTube video. Just copy and paste the link and share it.
Awesome.
I have something
Okay.
that I'm finally allowed to talk about.
Go ahead.
Okay. The integration with the Chris Murray email templates is now
Yay!
live. People have successfully brought all 200 email templates into their database with the click of maybe one or two buttons. So that is up. And if you need the link, it's in your Chris Murray toolbox. I know there's a fancier way to say that. But it is in there under the Ultimate Email Marketing Package. Miss Cindy Alexander and I are hosting a webinar at the end of this month, so join us for that. More details to come. But that is live. So the next step of that is you guys are all going to start asking, how do I tie it to my business rules? Give us a shout, give us a holler. Business rules are not something to play with on your own if you haven't messed with them in a while. Just like those web forms, they are live.
Yes.
The minute you hit save. So if you want to do a couple of trial runs with us, just give us a call. Let's walk through one or two, brainstorm how you want to use those things. But they are live. The template integration is finally up and launched. And if you are in need of 200 email templates, give me a call. I can point you in the right direction.
That is exciting. Thank you so
Yes.
much. We did need to share that.
Sorry, I forgot to tell you earlier.
It's all right.
I should have led with that.
But you got it in.
I got it in.
We'll take it.
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments?
I think that's it for this time. We got a lot of stuff coming in the pipeline. We're gearing up for user group. It's going to be exciting end of the year.
Yes, very exciting. Well, thank you everyone that took time out to join us today. As Ryan said, this will be recorded and posted a little later on today. So if you need to watch the recording, just go to our YouTube channel. It will be there for you. That's it for us today. We will see you all next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.